So, big dog.
Big dog. Yeah, I wasn't doing well. We had a, I told you did I tell you that we got an ultrasound on him?
Yeah.
And that was 2 weeks ago, I think. And then I was hoping that nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
That's, the side of you is just like you're hoping that nothing's wrong with your dog. And then I talked to the breeder and she said that, oh yeah, they get finicky eating because he wasn't eating and he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And so she said that a lot of times that, they just lose muscle mass in their back and he just wasn't eating. So we just figured he was finicky. But the ultrasounds showed different. He had a large mass on his spleen.
Yeah.
I guess our minds went quicker than his body did. So we kept stretching it out, and then basically just stopped eating. So we had to take him in and put him down. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And a part of it too is like, and I told this to the breeder, it's just, he was a great dog. I mean, he was just the perfect dog.
Yeah.
He never got into anything. Sure, when he was a puppy, he pooped and peed in the house, like puppies do.
Yeah.
And then never got onto the counters. I think we lost one stick of butter in the 11 years that we had him. And other than that, he was just like perfect. I mean, it wasn't like a dog that you just absolutely like, God, man, this dog is just driving me crazy. He never drove me crazy. He drove the wife crazy a little bit when we first got him because he would just follow her around all the time. So we got him In-N-Out Burger the night before and took him for a nice walk after. And
Yeah.
So November 14th was his birthday. So that was the day that we took care of it.
Yeah.
So 11 years on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Sucks.
Well, let's dedicate this
Yes.
episode to
Yes,
Cash.
Cash, the black and tan coonhound from heaven, actually from Oregon.
So dedicate this episode to him. It's
Yeah.
also our 30th episode,
Yeah.
and what better way to talk about this and dedicate, and then we're going to talk about German beer. So
Yeah.
So I think that's a great all around combination.
Yeah. Real good.
So, well, welcome to the Atomic Beer Show. My name is Josh,
And I am Don.
and we're here to talk about beer,
Lots of beer.
German beer.
Lots of German beer today.
Yeah, I
We
did.
got a fridge full.
Yeah, so we decided that we're going to do the German beer tasting episode today, and also this is going to be a little different than a lot of our other shows in the sense that I feel it's going to be a little bit more educational. So right there, I just lost
Good.
listeners.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn, but we're going to look back at the history of. There you go. I mean, this is what this beer is doing to us already. So, but we're going to talk about German beer, a little German history, and also different styles and some of the older breweries. And then just kind of like, so you know where these styles are coming from for when you go to your craft breweries, and when they have things like a Helles on tap, and you have things like a Bock on tap, you know that these are German beer styles that they're recreating here in the United States, which at your local brewery. So it's good to know where you're. I'm big on knowing your history, so you don't repeat history, and you know where things come from. It's really
Well, if it's good history, you'd want to repeat it.
correct. Also, you know what not to do. So, like
That's true.
Like if you fail,
Learn from our mistakes.
That's right. If you fail, you don't do that again. You don't keep
Yeah.
doing the same thing over and over again and expect a better result. That's my assumption. Unfortunately, it's not everybody else's. What we're gonna do is we have some beers we're gonna try, and we have some different styles we're gonna talk about. And if you enjoy the podcast, you can follow us on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcast, and now we're on Amazon. Is it Amazon Music?
I think so, yeah.
It is on there now. Get the official.
I didn't try Alexa last night when you...
I didn't either. I think I said, Alexa, do this, and it goes to something else really weird. So.
We just took up the party lights in the backyard, so...
Nice.
So now all I do is say, Alexa, turn on the party lights, and the patio lights go on.
I'm wondering, like, do they like move to the beat of music?
No.
Oh, that'd be
I
cool
wish.
because that'd be like
I wish.
dun 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 dun, and see if they start blinking or something.
That'd be cool. We'll have to look for that.
That'd be interesting.
I'm sure they probably have it out now that all the Christmas stuff is up.
Probably.
Probably have something on it.
They gotta have something like that. I would definitely think that that's...
We could play like, Alexa, play Yacht Rock Radio on Sirius XM, and then you get all the great 70s and 80s songs.
Right. When you think of beer, do you normally think of, like, we talked about our first beer we've ever had, and it's probably been a light ale or a lager, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they think of German beers, they're thinking of lagers, you know. And then what was interesting when doing the research is that actually, ales were the more dominant type of beer style out of Germany in the early, long time ago. We'll just say the early part of beer making history.
Now, do you think that the ales are easier to brew than the lagers just because of the temperature of fermentation?
Yes. Yeah. So, but what they did was...
Nice T-shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I wore my Frankenmuth Brewery shirt for the occasion because it is in a Bavarian town with the world's largest Christmas store. So that's Frankenmuth, Michigan, for those of you that are listening. So lager was originally the most prolific German beer style, believe it or not, but that wasn't always the case because in history. Okay, so it was like the mid 1500s, probably about 1553. They started having a battle between the northern and the southern on the lagers versus ales.
Okay.
And there's a lot of laws. There's a lot of crazy
and that's still
history.
pretty new, right? Because like German beer law was what, 1516, 1513? 1513?
Yes.
Okay.
So the German purity law was in 1513. So this was, 40 years afterwards. And there's the thing with the German history, and I'm not going to do it any justice on this show, for sure. But just to give a quick background, is that there's been years and years of history between the governments and then kings and then regions and then breweries, and then the Catholic Church took over and they started doing the Trappist brewings and everything else. And Bavaria has their own kind of style. So the South became more of a lager culture, and the North was more of an ale culture. So in the Bavarian area, which is the southeastern part of the country, was mostly lager. So a lot of your Bavarian styles are going to be lager. But that was in the 1500s. So obviously pure, and then the purity law came into place. This was 1512 or 1513. This is beforehand.
Wow.
Yeah. So when the April 23rd, 1513, the Reinheitsgebot came into place, and that's the German purity law, where you can only brew with water, hops, and barley, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now, during the time, they didn't even know what yeast was, apparently. So obviously, you're gonna have to have yeast in it later on. So as long as it has those three items, it still follows the purity law. So a lot of the beers that we're gonna have today are going to be following the purity law. So what we're drinking right now, what we're tasting is it's a Hefe Weissbier from Weinensteffen. I'm just saying, like, man, we got to pronounce these things right. So from Weinensteffen, which is it's according to the world's oldest brewery, according to their bottle. And so I went to their website, and it's basically almost 1,000 years ago, the Bavarian state brewery Weinensteffen was the monastery brewery of the Benedictine monks. Then the Royal Bavarian State Brewery, it is now operating as a state-directed enterprise under the control of the Bavarian government. As the oldest still existing brewery in the world, it stands upon the Weinensteffen Hill, surrounded by the comparatively very young Weinensteffen Science Center of the Technical University of Munich, and also a unique tradition in brewing culture developed over the centuries. Today, Corbian's heirs use the most modern technology, but they never forget their own history and their own high standards. This allows us to brew a variety of beers of the highest possible quality. So what we're drinking here is a Weissbier, and it's I wanted to start with something like this because of the tastings of it.
Okay.
So and it's a traditional beer. It's an old brewery. This is a recipe that hasn't changed for years, 1,000 years. So, and they're still bottling this, and then this is what we started on today. So
it's good.
Yeah. So it's your flavor and balance. It's going to have like a flour-like maltiness to it. Wheat, definitely a wheat balance. It's a wheat beer. Weiss is the wheat. Clove, and it should have a banana aftertaste fermentation. Do you get that?
Okay, yeah, I'm getting that a little bit now that you brought it up.
Yeah. And a lot of people, like when they have like a Hefeweizen or a Weissbier or something like that, a lot of times you might have that banana-like flavor from the fermentation process. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people is like, what is that? I just can't put my finger on what that taste is. And it's a banana type thing. But they also these have a high level of carbonation. So, quick history of Weissbier is that Weissbier has fluctuated in popularity over several centuries, but today is quite popular in Bavaria and beyond. Brewed with at least 50% malted wheat, fermented with a unique yeast strain that produces banana and clove flavors. So if you want to find a beer similar to that, or in the United States or anywhere, you can find like a Weizenbock, a wit beer, American wheat beer, so and like a Hefeweizen or a Dunkels Weissbier. So those are all similar in styles and whatnot. A lot of tradition in these breweries and a lot of history that they just don't change things, and it's really interesting. But when you think of like German traditions and German beer, what are some visuals that come to your mind?
Oh, well, Oktoberfest for sure.
Yeah, Oktoberfest,
Big Steins, you know,
oh, dude, like just
Jägermeister.
Oh, here we go.
Where do we have the beers conveniently
Conveniently located in the kegerator, right here in the fallout shelter.
Which one is it, Josh?
I believe it should be the. I think I picked up the Eyinger.
Oh, I was looking for what color cap.
Oh, I'm sorry. The blue and cap.
Blue, this one right here?
Yeah,
with the Capitol or the building and the lighthouse on?
Yes, is that a Pilsner?
This is a Bavarian Pils.
Perfect. Okay.
Grab that.
Yes, sir.
Let me put these back.
All right. So the history is a German interpretation of the original Pilsner from Bohemia, which is a Czech premium pale lager. This style is generally paler, lighter bodied, and less malty than the Czech premium pale lager. So similar styles is going to be the Czech premium pale lager, a Kolsch, and a Munich Helles. So obviously another, and I need a bottle opener.
Oh, yeah. Where'd he go? Here you go.
So this is the
Defend Beer.
So beer share number 2 is going to be from Eyinger Brewing. This is out of Germany. It's a German Pilsner, 5.6% ABV. It's got a bright gold color. It's crisp, clean, and snappy.
Snappy dappy.
I like to say it's snappy.
It is very clear.
Crisp.
You can basically see through it.
It's a crispy boy. Yeah.
It's got a good carbonation too, and almost a champagne-ish color, right? Champagne and
yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I was reading too is aside from the fact that this is it's got a bold sass.
Oh, wow.
German hops. It's
way different from the first one.
Yeah, it's a base. It should be a basic lager. A style that's become an inspiration for most beers of the world. Most of the world's beers. This is an inspirational beer. Is the Pilsner. Now, I have also heard too. This is the kind of beer you want to keep in your fridge in the go-to.
Oh, good.
A lot of people consider it as a go-to
Yeah.
beer.
Have you tasted it yet? Mm-mm. Yeah. We'll see what you think. It's way different from that first one.
That's quite a big difference.
That's way big difference.
And I think that could have something to do with us drinking the
super light,
the Weiss beer beforehand, and then hitting this Pilsner, because Pilsners are a little bit, you can get some IBU on it. You certainly can.
Yeah.
And then you can also, these are kind of beers you're going to see probably drinking out of a boot right next to a Helles, I would think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So the Pilsner.
Where are they located? Where's
Eyinger? It's in Bavaria area, so the southeastern area. The actual town.
5.3 APV. Did you say that?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's 5.3.
It's the great thing about it is I don't think I've ever tasted anything like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've had like the craft beer versions, or you've had American style Pilsners.
Yeah.
So like Miller Lite is a American Pilsner.
Yeah, but it's not Miller Lite. It's a
long
long way from Miller Lite.
For sure. Yeah. So on their...
Making me burpy.
Yeah. I'm trying to find... Because a lot of... I've been looking on a lot of these sites' web pages. It's been interesting because a lot of them are in Germany, and these are all brewed in Germany. And just to find more information about these breweries, it's been interesting because a lot of them the pages are in German, so you have to get the English translation, and then they have multiple translations. It's just, just how world-renowned German beers are. And now a lot of people may get the German beers and the Belgian beers confused because they are neighbors. And if you talk about the beer belt, which is right up there in Europe, it's going to be the United Kingdom, Belgium, and Germany.
Okay.
And so you're going to have a lot of great beers in that area that's just historically amazing, right? And so then outliers from there, you're going to have like Ireland, Norway's got some stuff. Finland, other things around that area. It's going to have some interesting beers as well. But when you're going to do a beer tour of that area, you hit that beer belt, and then you can go on the outliers. But German beers alone, dude, just researching what I've done, I figured we could do a turn the Atomic Beer Show to the Atomic German Beer Show, because you can talk about German beer in every episode. There's so much stuff.
Dude, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I mean, we don't have enough time really for this one sometimes. So
I know.
Let's bite off a little bit more. We can shoot.
Yeah.
No,
So maybe expect a German episode part 2 and 3 and 4 at some point, because I mean, literally, we're probably going to taste 4 or 5.
I think the next time we should do it is like going into Oktoberfest. That'll give us almost a year to plan.
Yeah, and that's and just just to give us a chance to actually taste the local craft versions of things too, which we did. We have a lot of the Marzens and the Helles and
Dunkels.
the Dunkels.
Yeah.
Dunkel.
Dunkel.
Yeah, so Heininger out of Bavaria, and this is their pills. Man, I'm just racking up the cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
today.
you are. Dude.
Sorry about that. I wish I knew how to turn it off. Maybe if I would use a different webpage, I would do this. But hey, at least you guys know. If you guys want to know how to get cryptocurrency just by checking things online, let me know. Well, it's not a lot, but it builds up over time. So this is the German Pilsner, and cheers to this one. Okay, so next we're going to look at the next styles that German beers have, and we're still in the pale beers, and I don't have a lot of all these here. I did bring a Marzen, which is it's a March beer. It's a malty lager from Bavaria, very similar to Oktoberfest style. It's usually a couple of shades darker than a lager with a rich caramel flavor. It has a crisp finish. It's becoming more popular among craft brewers, so a lot of places you're going to see
The Marzens.
Marzens, yeah, that's another one. And then your other one is going to be a Kolsch or an alt beer. Now, the interesting thing about Kolsch, and I've actually, every time I talk about my my days of learning how to be a beer server through Cicerone, one of the things that is a question on there for that is Kolsch. And a Kolsch can only be called Kolsch if it's made in Cologne, Germany.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's right on the Rhine River, it's south of Dusseldorf, and you can make Kolsch, but it has to be an American Kolsch or something else Kolsch. It can't be, or Kolsch style.
Okay.
But to be a pure Kolsch has to be made in Cologne, Germany, and there is actually a law in that. Alt beers are also going to be made along the Rhine River, mostly in Dusseldorf. They're darker, and German beers, most like a UK ale, but they're much more crisper and cleaner. Now, I didn't bring any alt beers today, but I did bring a Kolsch.
Oh, nice.
So we can do the Kolsch next for beer share number 3.
Beer share number 3.
And while you're pulling that, that's should be the Gaffel, which is the one I got. It should be the blue. Yep, Gaffel. Yep. So this is this one actually, believe it or not, this follows the Reinheitsgebot. This is based on the German purity laws. This is how they brew their beers, and it's another old brewery, and I do have some history on that. Oh, what's great too, when I go to their website for Gaffel, it says enjoy Kolsch. You have to be 16 or older to visit our website.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not 21?
No. So, yes, I'm at least 16 years of age. So
That's right.
So the beginnings of Gaffel, while we're getting this ready, if you want to take that, and then we'll pour these beers out. I'll read about the beginnings. In 1302, Cologne's beer history began in the early Middle Ages, and mention is made here of a house being sold to Isilien Brewery. Isilien the brewer. From this date on, the names of brewers and breweries appeared repeatedly in the records. 1302, the best breweries were recorded for the first time in Eigelstein. The reason was, and still is, the excellent brewing water. So probably right off the Rhine River is why you get these delicious Kolsches. So, and I know we've had variations of Kolsches from our craft brewers. I know Happarazzi had a really good one.
Yeah.
When they were around, and then some other things. So while that's still being poured, some things to look for in a Kolsch, and some other notes I have, that it's often described as the ale version of a Pilsner. So Pilsner is going to be a lager, while the Kolsch is going to be an ale. With a subtle fruitness, delicate malt flavor, moderate bitterness, Wow, stop
I know.
getting into my bitterness. Moderate bitterness. High attenuation gives the beer a crisp, refreshing edge. And again, these are brewed in Cologne, Germany. The true Kolsch's are, and they use a ale yeast at cooler temperatures. So similar to an alt beer and a German Pils. It has a moderate IBU, 18 to 30 IBUs. The alcohol content is going to be around 4.4 to 5.2%. And your color, as you can see, is a straw to light gold. So if you're somebody that likes SRMs, I know I didn't talk about those in the other beers, but it is a 3.5 through 5 SRM. So that's your coloration on a Kolsch.
And this is from what? Gaffel beer?
Gaffel Brewing. They're in Cologne.
I was just trying to see what the ABV, and I can't find it.
They may not. A lot of these may not post on. This is on the back, really small. But,
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Really small.
Like 4.8. 4.8, yeah.
Okay. So this is like one of the few that I could find in a short notice that's out of Cologne in the States. There's others, but there's other good variations that I've had over the years. I'm not gonna lie, this might be the first one I actually had from Cologne.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
I know probably, well, I don't know. There's a couple of Oktoberfests. I don't remember what I was drinking, so
yeah.
I could have had one back then.
You never know. So, but cheers to the for the
Yeah,
Kolsch.
prost to this one.
Prost.
Kind of similar to the last one.
Yeah.
Not too much, though. Maybe a little bit on the lighter side from
Yeah.
the last one.
So similar to the Pilsner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be. It is very close to a German Pils. I think the Pilsner had a little bit more bitterness.
Yeah,
Just
agree.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit more like lighter. I think a little bit more refreshing. It's a little bit more.
This could be a good everyday beer.
Yeah, it's a good. And I these are the kind of beers too. I think that people that drink the Bud Light and things like that could go to something like this. Now, these aren't craft beers. They could. I mean, these are old beers. These are been around a long time, and the recipe is barely changed at all, if at all. And so it is something to see that the imports in these beers is actually these are the possibly the German variations of the fizzy yellow water in a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does, yeah.
But the recipes are ancient. I mean, just they're old. All right, so other styles that I wanted to bring up that are big in Germany is, well, we talked about the German Pilsner. We talked about the Weissbier. We talked about the Kolsch. Other ones is the Bock, which is actually different variations of Bock. You have a double Bock.
Amberbach. I better get on my Amberbach.
Another one is, we talked about Marzen, and then Oktoberfest is another version. So those are all styles that are going to be out of Germany. So when you go to your craft beer breweries, you're gonna be able to taste variations and styles similar to those. So when you look up that stuff, that's what you're going to find. We did bring up Dunkel a bit. We didn't really go into depth with Dunkel. The Dunkel. So Dunkel is going to be one of the darker styles of beer that you're going to find in Germany. And the other dark beers, and I know that some of these are on your list of good stuffs. Oh, Bock is one. Sorry, I didn't do these in as order as I wanted to. But another one is the Schwarzbier.
May the Schwartz be with you. I think we've quoted that before.
Yeah, a few times. And that's the black lager. It's definitely for beer enthusiasts. That it's a great beer style. I think we've had, what was the craft beer? Brooklyn Brewing, right? It was
That's the dark. We did the dark lager.
the black lager. So that's
The winter lager.
Yeah, so and those black. So it'd be considered a Schwartz beer. Schwarzbier. Sorry, I keep saying Schwartz. Thanks, yogurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one. I think if you know somebody that likes to drink lager but doesn't like dark beer, get them a Schwartz beer, and you'll turn them to the dark side.
Nice.
I think that might be the one. Now a Bock, Let's go back to the Bock for a second, and that's something that's going to be around a 7% beer, and you can have a double Bock. I think some good double Bocks out of Germany might be a Paulaner, the Salvatore double Bock. I think I brought a Bock with me today. We'll have to check. But I do have a couple more that we can do beer shares on, and then we will get into a Rauch beer later in a little bit.
Nice.
And that's another dark one. And then So yeah, so I did pick up one of those, and then one of the other ones other styles I want to bring up really quick was a Berliner Weiss, and that's basically made out of Berliner.
Okay.
Okay, and that's your sour beer, and other things that are similar to that are going to be Gozas. So Gozas are going to be more salty, and it's a close cousin to the Berliner Weiss. So we've had Berliner Weisses on here. We've definitely had Gozas. Definitely Berliners are, I guess, what would you say, an acquired taste?
Yeah,
for
I think
some?
so. Yeah.
Yeah. So some people either really like those or not a huge fan. I think it's one that it grows on you. Yeah. So with the sour beers and stuff. So anyway, but we're gonna get ready and do beer share number 4.
Beer share number 4.
Okay, so for beer share number 4, what we're gonna do is I got another one from Eyinger, and this is the Celebrator Double Bock.
Double Bock.
So is it Double Bock or Doppelbock? You got to get all this stuff.
It says double.
It says Double Bock.
It says Bavarian Double Bock.
Okay, so it's a Bavarian Double Bock. So Eyinger is out of the Bavarian area of Germany. So I would say this is a highly malted and often sweet and thick. The malt character follows beer color with pale examples being bready and toasty, while darker examples show toffee and chocolate flavors. Alcohol warmth may be apparent. So this was originally brewed by monks as liquid bread for sustenance during fast. So the whole thing, when people say, "Are you hungry?" and you say, "No, I'm drinking liquid bread," and you're drinking beer,
Okay.
this is probably where that came from. So, but yeah, so this is going to have a gold to brown color, and I think this one should be a little brown. Yep, this is going to be a brown color. It's going to be low bitterness, so 16 to 26 IBUs, and it's going to be what they say an elevated ABV, so it should be anywhere from 7 to 10%.
Well, it said 6. This says 6.7.
Okay,
so,
6.7.
It's close.
pretty close.
You round up.
Yeah, so I guess this is one they
220, 221,
want you to
whatever
drink
it takes.
2 of these, not one. So this is the Eyinger Double Bock.
Man, it's super dark.
Yeah, and you can just smell it smells like a bakery.
Yeah, it does. It smells like my room when we're fermenting on the brew buckets.
Right. So, ooh, no, you get a lot of like back of the tongue taste on that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's crazy how I don't think I've had really anything like this before.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So
Not too bitter.
No, and this is one I wasn't going to get. Like, it wasn't originally planned, but when I saw it, I was like, you know what? This is a good style to try.
Where did you get all these, by the way?
Actually, Total Wine.
Total Wine, really?
Yeah, like one of my spots I was going to go was Old World Village over in Huntington Beach.
Honey Beach, yeah.
It's a big German area.
Yeah.
And I looked
That's
online.
where I've had most of my good Oktoberfests at.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, so I just the and while I do like to patronize there and get food once in a while, and I haven't been there in a while, but I have gotten other beers that I didn't see at Total Wine that I know that they have there. So maybe it'd be part 2. I can get some stuff from there sometime. But this is Total Wine just had everything I was looking for the beer styles.
Nice.
And just a one-stop shop. I was literally in and out of Total Wine in like 15 minutes.
Awesome.
Because I found everything I needed really quick.
I always get sucked into the wine section too when I'm there.
Yeah, well, I had people in the car waiting on me, so
Oh.
I didn't have much time to deal.
I'd be like, let them wait. God, this was really long. They only had one checker. I'm going to write
A complaint letter.
a complaint letter.
Okay, Karen, you tell them. You tell them what's up. But so this is pretty good. I mean, this is something I could drink once in a while for sure. The Celebrator. Oh, I did find some.
I'm trying to think what it reminds me of.
Well, according to their website, it's a beer that has a dominant malty taste.
Yeah.
This beer's origins and Monk's recipe are reflected in its heartiness. The Pope of Beers, Conrad Seidel, describes it as almost black with a very slight red tone, a sensational festive foam, and truly extraordinary fragrance that at first summons up visions of Greaves lard. That's what I thought of right away. Greaves Lard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's
So,
always top on my list.
I'm always
Yeah.
looking for beers that, gives me visions of Greaves Lard. So the first taste is of a mild fullness with accompanying coffee tone. Okay. Which becomes more dominant with the aftertaste. That's what I was going to say. The back of the tongue comment was definitely like the aftertaste, like what
Yeah.
I'm getting afterwards. There's very little of the sweetness that is frequently to be tasted with Doppelbock beer. The Eyinger Celebrator has been ranked among the best beers in the world by the Chicago Testing Institute several times and has won numerous medals. So yeah, it's an interesting beer, and
It's good.
Yeah, yep.
I'm still trying to think of what it reminds me of.
Yeah, because even the for notes I have of comparable beers, an Einbach and basically Hellesbach and Dunkelsbach, it's all similar to other Bachs. So, but like Americanized versions, I would maybe Amberbach, but that's like back in the day when I thought that was a cool beer to drink, and now I'm like, oh, that's Budweiser. So I don't know.
Yeah, but it's still good.
Yeah,
I mean, and when you're drinking German beer, everybody thinks you're all,
Yeah.
super snazzy with the beers, and little do they know that you could be drinking just beer from Budweiser.
I mean, yeah, but that's for sake of argument and not getting deeper. Did I say dipper? Like
I don't know.
Like Big Dipper? I don't know either. But hey, let's talk about some traditions. I want to bring back another tradition that in German culture. It's Oktoberfest. And let's talk about Oktoberfest a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. Have you ever been over there for that?
To where?
Munich.
No.
No. Apparently Netflix has a show out now called Oktoberfest Blood and Beer or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, so it looks interesting. It looks a little, I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Over the top?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it might be interesting to check out. But
No, I've only done Oktoberfest here.
Yeah. So, like, Old World, Huntington Beach.
Yeah, that's the only place I've gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was supposed to go with someone I worked with to the Torrance location.
Ah.
They usually put up this gigantic tent.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe Phoenix Club in Anaheim. I might have gone to one time at Phoenix Club.
That's where I want to go next time. Because I was going to go last year, and I didn't. And then, of course, everything this year is just kind of...
Old World, when we went, was just out of control.
Really?
I mean, it was so out of control, we thought, let's get an apartment right down the street.
Yeah, right?
And that never panned out. But,
The
Yeah,
wiener dog races?
I've never been to Wiener Dog races.
Oh,
No.
that's a sad face.
I've been to Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh, hey. Yeah, the cool thing about the Oktoberfest is that it's definitely a celebration of Bavarian culture. And I bring up the Bavarian stuff because me growing up was thinking about people that drank beer from Germany would look like little Bavarian men, with the lederhosen, everything like that. I believe my sister, not my sister, I had my family. I believe my family actually, a lot of my cousins and stuff got married in the receptions for family, wedding receptions.
Okay.
It was always in the Bavarian Hall.
Oh, okay.
And I was in the town next to us. That was like the big place you rented out, and it was all German themed and
Nice.
German owned, and you never put two and two together. A lot of the places we also visited were Bavarian themed, and it was a big deal for growing up and German heritage and things like
Nice.
that. So there's some good stuff that came out of Germany.
Yeah.
A lot of it's Bavarian culture, and
I
that's
like
with
the pretzels.
the beer and the pretzels, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, and some good food coming out of there.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun. Another great tradition is the Rauchbier,
Okay.
which is a smoked beer.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Not familiar. And believe it or not, me neither. So I'm actually looking forward to doing a Rauchbier. Now, I did bring one, and I hope I do not butcher this name because I've been practicing.
Oh, my
this.
gosh.
It's Eicht Schrein. Wait, hold on.
Furla. I'm not even going to go there because...
Oh, yeah. It's Eicht Schenkerla Rauchbier. This is the Urbach of the Brauerei Heller out of Bamberg, Germany. And this, also, if anybody's interested in this brewery, check them out online too. There's a lot of cool stuff where people, especially on YouTube, visiting this brewery, and it's an old brewery, dude. Like
Really?
It's really cool. Schenkerla.
I'll have to remember that. next time we go over there.
Yeah. Schenkerla, the historic smoke beer brewery. So how the brewing process works, well, it's a little bit more intense, more intense than I thought, but it's a very old way of doing it. It's in on their website, the classic smoked beer. They have different versions of their beers. I guess their Marzen is really popular. And, this is kind of probably the bottle you've seen at the beer stores and just never picked up. And I'm really curious to see how this is going to be. But Bamberg and smoked beer, Germans call it Rauchbier, belong together. A liaison which was not without consequences, the greatest of which is the Schlenkerla, the most productive, most visited, and most traditional smoked beer in Bamberg. It originates in the middle of the old town, directly underneath the mighty cathedral, from a half-timbered house on which the geraniums elusively glow in the summer.
It's smoky.
Anyone who did not come here and tried the strong, unmistakable taste of original Schenkerla smoked beer cannot claim to have been to Bamberg. So basically, if you go to Bamberg, you need to go to Eicht Schenkerla. So, yeah. So we're going to.
I'm going to take a small sample at first
Yeah.
because I took a sniff and I'm like, whoa.
Oh wow, yeah. And one of the people say
It does. It reminds me of bacon.
They say like bacon in a bottle, and oh wow, yeah, that smells great.
This is crazy.
Oh, it tastes like bacon. It's smoky bacon.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you want some more?
Yeah, I'll take some more.
There you go.
You know what? Save a little bit. I'll give a little to the wife and see what
Okay.
she thinks.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, look at that. Let me grab. Let me. Well,
We'll let that settle. Sorry for the head. Oh, I gave myself something too. Hey,
you're pretty flexible.
I never leave the house. Yeah. So this version here is definitely smoky flavored. So with the this is the Urbach version that we have here, and as Don ran off to make sure that the wifey gets to taste some of the smokiness of this Urbach.
Yeah, she said her palate wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, like a lot of the stuff I've been reading about the Rosh beers is that you get the bacon taste. It's no lie. I mean, it's something I've never thought about before. Like I always think of there's a bacon soda, there's bacon whatever, but for a bacon style beer, and I don't think it was meant to be a bacon beer. It's just the smokiness gives you that thought of it because how your brain deciphers things and whatnot. But there are a couple breweries, other breweries around the world that make a Rosh beer, but really the Eicht Schrelarka, the Marzen is the one they say is the one to pick up. The intense smokiness comes from malt that has been smoked. A bit of surprise, but it sticks out. And it's always surprisingly drinkable. I almost said dinkable because I don't know why Spaceballs became a theme in this episode. All of a sudden, dink, 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 dink.
I don't know.
Dink. All right, Schwartz beer. But yeah, so maybe next time we'll get the margin of this. This is the Urbach, and yeah, wow, definitely awesome. So quick stats on the Schenkerla's beer here, the Urbach. It is ABV of 6.5%, and the kind of on the back is just Urbach is a complex sibling of the classic Marzen smoked beer, exactly like the classic. All its barley malts are kilned and smoked by burning beechwood logs in the Sri Lanka maltings. Its higher smoke malt concentration and longer maturation in the 14th century beer cellars underneath Bamberg create a taste profile of most intense smokiness, beautifully balanced with deep malt sweetness. As one of the last traditionally made smoked beers, Eicht Schrenkerlau Rosh beer is a passenger in the arc of tastes by Slow Food. www.smokebeer.com. So yeah, out of the two I picked, I basically should have got the Marzen. I guess that's the more popular one.
Yeah,
I went with the Urbach. So maybe.
But I know it's good though.
Yeah,
I sometimes want to stay away from the popular stuff.
True.
That's just me.
Yeah.
It's just always been that type.
And the crazy thing is,
know?
I don't like smoked stuff. Like I've had smoked porters and I've had smoked whiskeys, and I'm just like, like I've had the smoked porter from Stone Brewing. I was like, I felt like I was gonna cough after drinking that. And then even this campfire whiskey from High West, I was just like, That's kind of smoky. So I'm not a big smoky taste person, unless it comes to like a liquid smoke on some meats. But I remember one time, man, I was I was trying to barbecue on a oh my gosh on a slow cooker
Okay.
and had chicken on it and all that, and put too much liquid smoke or too much smoke on it.
Oh.
I put it on too soon. Put the meat on too. It just smoked out. Meat was tender. Meat was delicious, but you were coughing.
Yeah, there's sometimes for me that I'm just like, I don't need to smoke that. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I've got the trigger and I've done some great stuff on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really try to watch how much smoke goes into my meat.
Yeah, right. Now I'm curious though. Like, can we take like malt and put it on the Traeger and smoke it?
I'm sure you probably could.
And then use
somehow.
that malt? Ooh,
I'm sure you could probably find some sort of basket to put it in.
I'm curious too.
You could probably put it into I don't know, like a strainer or a sifter.
Yeah,
So it's getting it from,
it had to be
Both
something
ends?
like leveled up so you can get from both. Yeah,
and then you could pull it out and shake it and then put it back in for a little while.
yeah. But who's going out and looking for smoked beers if you don't live in Germany?
Yeah, I mean, I've never even heard of smoked beers until today.
Yeah. Well, that was my job. You had one job and you've done it successfully.
Yeah.
A
Like,
plus.
Even going to Stone a couple times, I didn't even like come across it, like across their beer menu.
Yeah. The smoked porters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it's definitely. I like the fact that it's something different, something we haven't
Different,
tried
exactly right.
yet. Yep. And we haven't. This is
Exactly
That's
right.
what we do is find this awesome stuff, and it may not be everybody's palate or everybody's taste, but we'll drink it for you.
Well, at least we'll try it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oh my gosh.
Okay, so I got one more beer. So beer share
Yeah.
number 5, right?
Beer share, no.
5.
6.
6.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, another 6 beer share show.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, when it comes to German beers, you got to do it right. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah, am I right? So one of the breweries we did not bring up at all, and I'm finally going to bring it up, and that would be Spaten.
I am Spartan. Oh, it's Spartan, not Spartan.
So yeah, Spaten is it's they're I believe they're primarily in Bavaria as well, and I wanted to grab a 6-pack of the Oktoberfest before that went away, and we're past Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest ends the first weekend by October 3rd. So we're way past that right now. So again, late to the party as we always are. But there's other great Spaten beers. The regular Spaten lager, and then the Spaten Optimator is something I'm a big fan of. I do like the Optimator. I have had my days with that in my beer journey. I think we're all on beer journeys here and there. And
Don't
so we're going to
stop
pour the
believing.
Oktoberfest and celebrate episode 30.
It's a nice golden color, malty, caramely color.
Yes. Which is similar to a Marzen. And
Could you drink the Marzon on Mars? Could that be a beer in space?
you know what? We should ask Elon Musk when I get him on the show. I don't know if he drinks beer. I don't think he drinks.
That'd be a good question.
I don't know.
And if he does, what does he drink?
Probably just
$8 million bottles of wine.
water that would
Probably.
sustains him. I don't know. But yeah, so the Oktoberfest beer from it's we never did talk about the ratings on any of these beers, which you can look them up yourself. We'll go through them again of what we had, but the so this is just going to be a gold colored. A lot of people like this beer. It's one of the go-to. Other than I'm a sucker for the Paulaner Oktoberfest. I think that tastes like a candy bar for some reason, like a weird caramel candy bar. But this is Spaten is probably the Munich area.
What kind of candy bar? I've been eating Three Musketeers a lot lately for some reason.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why.
I haven't eaten any.
Oh, that's true.
I did have a
Yeah.
vegan chocolate milk or chocolate hot cocoa the other day.
Oh.
Homemade. It's pretty good. and actually told the wife that she should put those in like molds and make those into candy bars because
That'd
that
be
would be
good.
really good. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Sorry for just like throwing us way
No,
off.
that's okay. No, you didn't throw us off at all.
But aren't the Three Musketeers, weren't they German?
Were they?
I don't know.
Or were they French?
Oh, French, yeah.
Were they France? I think they were fancy guys.
Yeah, they're the wine drinkers.
Like, what were their names? I used to know their names. Oh,
Ethos and...
That's French. That's got to be French.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Greek. It's all Greek to me. But yeah, so a lot of the malts that you're going to find here is Pilsner, Munich, Wiener, Karamunch, aromatic hops or Northern Brewer. Wow. And Hersbrucker. ABV is 5.9% on the Oktoberfest.
French. They're French.
Aha! Well, cheers to the Oktoberfest from Spaten.
Spaten. It's a malt liquor. That's 5.9 APV.
Good, 5.9. Man, and after that smoked beer, this tastes like drinking water.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Like a colored water.
Ah, that's good.
That's good.
That's good beer.
Yeah, Spaten makes good beer. I don't hate Spaten.
I should have to text you right now.
Yeah. You got to run inside and tell the wife.
Yeah.
This
It's a good beer.
But yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed the us doing due diligence on so much information that my mind.
Information overload.
Yeah, there's a lot of research that goes into the beers, the styles, the tradition of German beers, and not getting confused with Belgian beers.
That could be a whole nother show.
That could be. There's some good Belgian beers.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fat Tire, right?
That's New Belgium.
Oh, okay.
That's in the United States.
Oh.
Colorado.
I just thought of that because I was thinking of your dad.
Oh, the Fat Tire.
And I know he doesn't like Fat Tire.
As long as this don't taste like
Fat
Tire.
Yeah.
You see, he still does that. Like, hey, Dad, I got a craft beer for you. You want it? He's like, as long as it don't taste like that Fat Tire. Like, not even close. Like, I'll find you something you like, sir.
That'd be good.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. But on social media, you guys can find us on Facebook here and there.
Instagram.
Instagram for sure.
And
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah. Which
Apple Podcast.
I announced that earlier on.
Oh, that's right. You did.
I did.
Sorry.
I
I'm
just
like
broke it
way
up.
beyond.
That's all right. It's that smoked beer.
Yeah.
I'm not a smoky. But yeah, if you do want to listen to the show and you didn't hear it from the beginning, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, and also I think Google.
Yeah,
Google Chrome.
it's kind of filtrating out everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Which is good.
But if you want to listen to us, you can find us, share it with your friends. The best thing you can do to help us out
Follow
is
us.
follow us and like us. Comment.
Comment on our shenanigans.
Yeah. And if you had a smoked beer, I'm curious to hear what you guys think about smoked beer. I mean, that's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty crazy.
Yeah. Why not? We can do that.
So what do we got? So, I mean, I pretty much know what we learned today, so I'm not going to ask you that. But what do we got coming up? What do you want to do?
Well, what's coming up in the next few episodes is I know we are going to talk to a taproom owner.
Yeah.
That's nestled in between a bunch of breweries.
That's going to be an awesome. Josh and I had a preview of that the other day, and I got really excited about it when I walked out of there. So
yeah, it's interesting to hear the story and the facts behind how a city can do certain things for certain folks, and to put a tap room in with different variations of beer, and it's literally nestled into like I don't know how many breweries around the area, and how that could work as a business. So
that was good.
You're gonna hear that soon.
But the great thing about that tap room was we could go from Washington pretty much all the way down to San Diego and not have to leave the room.
True.
That was the great thing about it.
Yeah. I felt like I did after.
And the hospitality that we were given was incredible. So
yeah, exactly. So that's definitely something to look forward to. Also, future too, we do have some things set up where we're going to be talking to some breweries.
Breweries, yeah, we want to do that.
That's going to come up, and
yeah,
I guess we're going to have to do another
brew show.
German.
I think we're going to brew pretty soon.
Yeah, we are going to brew something. Not that. Not that.
Yeah, we're going to figure out something to brew. We're going to have a brew day, and then I guess we'll drink them online or drink them online.
No, we'll definitely update everybody each show on how the brew process is going.
Yeah.
And then once we get to the show, we'll crack them open and try them together for the first time while we record. So Yeah,
It'll be good.
I think we're leaning towards a Christmas ale.
I think so.
Yeah, winter ale, Christmas ale. So
Something. We'll figure out something to cook up.
The Atomic Winter beer. The Atomic Winter Ale.
Yeah,
Maybe that's the name.
that'd be good.
Yeah. If you
I was thinking about it for a second.
If you could only hear his thoughts right now.
I know. I was just like,
It's hurting me. I don't know. But anyway. But we want to thank you guys so much for listening to us. Thank you for supporting the Atomic Beer Show.
yeah, thank you so much.
And for always remember, no matter if it's from Germany or your local craft beer, please support your local craft breweries and always drink good beer.
Yep. Rest in peace, Cash. Rest in peace, buddy.